How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me here on Ravens Nest. Welcome all Ravens fans. Keep flying in, keep flocking in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because we're trying to make this nest the biggest nest on YouTube. So keep flocking in, and we're growing fast here on Ravens Nest. I'm super excited that all Ravens fans have this great opportunity to connect with one another and be honest about the Ravens. So today, I'm Curtis, by the way, just to let you guys know. And today we're going to talk about, has John Harbaugh lost this football team? That is an important question we have to ask, because I've talked to a lot of Ravens fans here in this nest and outside of the nest, and a lot of people feel as if John Harbaugh has lost the team, the coaching's not going well, they feel as if Steve Bisciotti needs to make a move in order to possibly fire John Harbaugh and fire Morningweg, the defensive coordinator, Dean Pease, and so forth and so on. First of all, I would like to say that there's not much I can do to defend, there's not much we can do to defend this coaching staff. I got some stats for you guys right here. Against the Oakland Raiders last year in Week 4, a big-time game, we had 10 penalties for 105 yards. Penalties have been one of the biggest issues for us. As soon as we make plays, we push ourselves back with penalties. I remember a game last season against the New York Jets. Terrence West had an amazing run. I believe he ran all the way to the 5-yard line, but it was called back because of a holding penalty, and that's what really set the tone in that game, a game in which we lost. Against the Giants, a game where Odell really beat us, and it was another big-time game in New York. We had 15 penalties for 111 yards. Against the Steelers, the game we won, the first game against the Steelers, we had 10 penalties for 94 yards. Against the Cowboys, 12 penalties for 136 yards. And moving on to this season, even though we won in Week 1, we still had 11 penalties. 10 penalties against Jacksonville this year, and 8 versus Chicago. At some point or another, you got to start blaming the coaching staff for all these mental errors. I know these players out there are grown men, and it's up to them to kind of figure this thing out. But the penalties, yes, they're the ones committing them, but at the same time, it's the coaching staff that's supposed to mold and shape these young players and veterans not to be making the same mistakes twice. Because it seems as if like these players, they keep making the same mistakes. It seems as if it just keeps going on, and it's not just penalties, it's just boneheaded mistakes. I remember another instance last year against the New York Jets. We made a mistake. We were literally punting the ball. Sam Cook was punting the football to the New York Jets, and we were called for a holding penalty, but we were kicking the ball away. How do you get called for a holding penalty when you're punting the ball? Usually it's the receiving team. So that's obviously coaching. Now, should we fire John Harbaugh? It's a rough decision to make. Obviously, I don't have any harsh words for John Harbaugh because he's a great guy. He's a great man, and he's really a good leader. He allows the players to be who they are, but it seems as if he's lost his touch on the team. And you say, well, how can you be so certain about that? Well, we all remember back in 2012 the amazing miracle run that we had to win the Super Bowl. But right prior to that, we fired offensive coordinator Cam Cameron and replaced him with Jim Caldwell. And that seemed to work. The players seemed to respond. But when we fired Mark Trestman and put in Marty Morningweg, the team didn't respond. The team's just not responding to John Harbaugh's moves anymore, and that's a problem. And the team's not being conditioned properly. I know there's one thing about saying that you're unlucky to get a lot of injuries on the team, but at some point you got to look at conditioning. I think Harbaugh's training these players too hard in training camp, and he's not conditioning them right. I'm not a strengths coach. I don't know how that works, but the amount of injuries is just getting ridiculous. But anyway, guys, I don't want to I'm a Ravens fan. I don't want to bash the Ravens too much. I appreciate you guys watching today's video. Let me know in the comments below, as always, what you guys think about this situation. It doesn't look good. We're 3-4. We only have a 24% chance of making the playoffs because we're a 3-4 team. But who knows? Who knows? You never know. The Ravens will always be mediocrity. Lately, we'll have a chance in the end, so we'll see. You never know. Appreciate you guys coming through the Ravens Nest. You guys have a good Baltimore Raven day.